Folks, we are live. Welcome to Gamers Health. I
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
welcome. And we're not the show about the mobile home dealer in Florida, which he always says, welcome. Folks, I am. If you don't know, and if you're watching this, I'd be very surprised if you didn't know who I am. But I am Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR. With me is my lovely wife, Rach,
How
and
you
in the
doing?
background
It's Luna.
is our little puppy Luna, who she's calming down a bit. So let's see how well she.
Yeah, and she's due soon for her spay
That'll
surgery. That'll probably calm a lot of
that'll
down
calm a
too.
lot of that doggy down. A lot of that doggy down. So, Fugly, welcome. Paul, welcome. So, just we discussed this before. This afternoon. It's an important topic. We want to start by saying there's no big, huge updates on either one of us.
we're
That's
we're both
we're
okay.
both okay, but we have in our circles, in our in the people that we know and care about, there's been a lot of stuff going on, and cancer is the great equalizer. Doesn't care whether you're rich or poor, black or white, Catholic or Jewish or agnostic or an atheist. It doesn't care.
No,
You're going to live a really healthy life. You may have,
you may
eaten
dodge a
shit.
bullet.
you
Yeah.
know,
Well, yeah. I mean, there's certain things that I guess once you find out that you have the cancer, there's certain things that you can do, certain lifestyle
right,
changes you can make to
right,
kind of prevent recurrence, which is part of my journey
yes,
in trying to change what I eat and trying to move more, um, trying to get rid of excess weight because that increases the likelihood of women's cancers.
yeah.
Yeah.
All cancers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that too.
let's be honest.
I guess because I think of the estrogen
Right,
component
no,
and
but it's all cancer.
overweight. Yeah.
And by the way, Shellback, did I know that Joe Lawyer is having a Sunday night live stream in an hour? Don't make me laugh, okay? I know Joe had some issues with the scheduling. Fugly, my mother had stage 4 lung cancer.
Aw.
Normally we start these episodes out and we give you a little bit of a background about our last week. I'll give you the highlight of our last week. Saturday night, my throat started getting scratchy, and I went, big F word, because it meant that I was getting a cold. And if you've ever been married, you know that when you get a cold, your spouse is shortly behind you, no matter what you get.
Yeah.
It may affect them differently, but so if you hear us coughing, if you
Which you may.
if you hear sinuses, if I turn around and become an elephant as I blow my
Yeah,
nose
he's
out,
had it worse than I have.
it's
Because mine didn't start probably till Tuesday night.
yeah. And I think that mine just dragged on. So if you have any issues with any of my my videos this week, if I sound like I'm underwater, trust me, I tried to clean them all up. But it's it's and the dopiness has set in, and don't even say you're normally dopey. I've heard it all. I understand. I thought that was my stomach, but it's fireworks. Okay, I feel better now. I don't know why there's fireworks. I don't know what we're celebrating, but there's fireworks going on right now. But so this past week, we've been a little under the weather. Not everything that we wanted to accomplish was done.
Yeah.
I'm still behind on rebooting the Substack and getting the blog up to speed, but yes, sharing is caring, Shellback. But give it to
Mm.
give it to your spouse.
Mm.
Paul, everyone on my team at work, including me, were out at least one day last week with whatever bug they acquired.
Yeah, this must be.
Yeah, it is. It went through my parents. Actually, it went through my sister and my niece, and then it got to my parents, and then we thought we were. Then it got to us. I got it this weekend, so now we'll be good. Well, we'll be good for the season, hopefully. Knock on fake wood.
Please, oh please.
But in any case, so I wanted to, you know, clear it because there's a lot to talk about when it comes to cancer. All right. Again, Rach and I are both individuals who have had cancer. I had Hodgkin's. My God, going to be almost 20 years ago.
Yeah,
And generally speaking, with cancer, they say that if you hit that 5 year mark, that's when you get your little like survivor badge to add to your character sheet.
wow. Oh, it's 5 years?
At 5 years,
Because that's when you get off of cancer probation.
yeah, if you get off of cancer probation,
Or for lack of better.
you don't have to see your oncologist anymore. You're good. You're good. It's not gonna. It's not gonna. If it comes back, it's a brand new instance. It's not a reoccurrence. I guess. Whatever. But the thing is, in like in my case, my cancer treatment, and let's be honest with you, if you've known anybody who's had cancer, if you yourself have had cancer or going through treatment for cancer, um, cancer treatments are essentially how can we kill you without killing you? Okay, if you're talking about it in D&D terms, right? It's like, hey, here's some poison for your body. In my case, it was a cocktail of 4 different poisons. How can we give you, excuse me, enough poison to kill the cancer and not kill you?
Oh, yes, your infusion.
Okay. Then that got followed up with radiation. What is radiation?
Oh, so they had to use the chemo to make them small enough to be radiated.
No, actually,
No.
so this is my little history of. So when I went through my chemo, it was supposed to be. Let me remember. It was supposed to be 8 cycles. 8 cycles, 4 months of chemo. Every cycle was every 2 weeks. So I got an infusion every 2 weeks. I handled it so well that we did, I want to say we did 12 cycles. So we did just about 6 months of chemo. Now, I never lost a hair on the top of my head from chemo. I lost hair everywhere else. I had no eyebrows. I had no underarm hair. No body hair. Hi, girl. I wasn't a hairy bear like this little girl is. But at the end of it, my oncologist was like, listen, I want you to see a radiation oncologist. Like, you've reacted very well to the chemo, but the radiation can be the
cleanup crew.
The cleanup crew.
Yeah, that's how I was.
The make sure everything is done right deal. And yes, I spoke to the oncologist, the radiation oncologist. 22 daily treatments Monday through Friday, except when the machine was broken, which was often.
Wow, God.
Yeah.
By God's grace, that didn't happen to me.
But he did explain to me, listen, you know, just you this. He felt very confident that it would do away with my cancer, and it did. But he said, say, you know, 10, 15 years down the line, there can be secondary issues that can crop up from this because we're going to be near the heart, near the lungs, and with probably wisdom, said, well, you know, we'll be 10, 15 years ahead of technology and and in the medical field by then.
Yeah.
So that was my feeling. Mike, welcome. So I went through radiation, and then we know my year of 2020, if you haven't been following, I had an upper respiratory infection that became pneumonia. Got hospitalized for that. They didn't catch the fact that it was setting off congestive heart failure, which I later got hospitalized for that after putting on about 30 pounds of water weight. Got 3 stents initially one stent 2 weeks after release and one stent a year after. I guess it was a year
Yeah.
after. A year after. So I've got 5 stents, and as far as we know, I never had a heart attack. But my heart looks like, and with the radiation, so yes, I survived the cancer, but the treatment itself
There
can.
was still a consequence.
There's probably there's a good likelihood that there's going to be consequences to any treatment. Just to let you all know, depending on what you had and where you're along in it. Now, Rach had, and by the way, when I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's. My oncologist was when he heard it was like when he saw it was like stage 2. He goes, "Oh, this we can work with." I was like, he was excited because he thought it was extremely curable. That's
Yes.
great to hear. Great to hear. But cancer treatments are, by their very nature, a roll of the dice. Again, if you're watching this channel,
You're saying you might have to lose some hit points.
if you're watching this channel, okay, you know it's like just don't roll a one, right? Just don't roll a one, and you roll that one, and you're like, you don't know, you don't know, and that's the worst part about this, okay? Because leading up to it, leading up to treatment, you worry about the treatment, and going through the treatment. Besides the side effects, hey, my first day of chemo, I came home. I had a homemade stew. Ate
No.
2 bowls of it. I was fine. I was starving. 2 weeks later, come home from chemo. My parents had pizza. I had a slice of pizza, and then said I gotta lie down. And then I was retching.
No.
And then I quickly learned that the days that I had chemo, I would have chemo on Wednesday.
You'd
I
fast a couple of days and
I would
then
not eat on Wednesday.
yeah.
Um, and then Wednesday night, I was going to feel like shit. Thursday, I would feel like shit. I would have chicken soup, bless you, and more of the broth than the actual soup. And then Friday morning, I started feeling vaguely human. And then by Friday afternoon, I was ready to leave the house.
Oh.
But I learned that you learn this routine.
Right. Right. They call it there's a name for it. A certain type of fasting.
But
Yeah.
you just you learn to adjust to what your body does. And my oncologist told me everybody reacts differently to it.
Yeah.
Some people literally every day for them was like my first treatment where it was like nothing. And for some, they'd be knocked on their ass for a week in between the biweekly treatment. So it's like so. And I was lucky. I was blessed. My job, um, its policy is unlimited sick, and you count instances, not days. So I was out for 11 months. That was one sick instance. I got paid a full salary. Again, most people aren't put in a blessing like that. I
Yeah.
and many people do chemo and just miss one day of work and go back the next day. I've known people that have done that in
Yeah.
other
Yeah.
jobs.
Yeah.
Um, Twin Steel. There's a great book about cancer that calls it the Emperor of All Maladies. It's a terrible disease.
Yeah.
It is, and um, again, Rach had breast cancer. So the treatment was different. She started with radiation. Well,
Well, I
you tried
started
with the
with surgery.
surgery. Sorry.
So yeah,
Yes, that's true.
it was, of course the biopsy even makes to confirm that there's cancer there,
Right.
and that's you know, a needle going in you, a pretty
Pretty big.
big gauge needle. And you're awake for that. And then your surgery to get it out. Um that was a day surgery, so that was good.
Right.
But yeah, I wasn't ready for how tight everything would feel
Oh, yeah.
after. Yeah, it was so uncomfortable, and I had a big hematoma too,
She did.
or seroma, whatever.
And if you couldn't guess, Rach bruises very easily.
Yeah. So like, yeah. So that was uncomfortable. And then after you heal from your surgery, they recommend um the cleanup crew of the radiation. And radiation, I definitely tolerated it well. Like the doctor said that I tolerated it really well. I was afraid because of the albinism. I was like, if I'm this sensitive to the sun,
Right.
what's radiation going to be like? And it was funny because they were like, oh, well, usually people with more melanated skin have more burning happen. And I was like, well, that's interesting. I mean, of course, I had burning happening. Like, and they did a special intervention for me. Usually, like, you get, like, for the cancer that I had, it was like 15 sessions. But your last 5 are, how did they say it? It's like you get 2 on the same day.
Okay.
Like a booster of sorts on the same day as your last ones. Like one for the general area and then the booster for like the specific area. And so she just prolonged it. She just made it like 20 days.
Oh, okay.
So that this way I didn't have to get
you didn't double up.
Such a high load of radiation. So I feel like that was helpful and that saved me from it would have been worse because like I had a lot of like, oh my God, a lot of burn. There was a lot of burning underneath.
Yes, but now the thing with you is that your radiation was much more pinpoint.
Oh yeah, like I have tattoos on my back.
Right. Well, no, and I'm talking about
line you up. And then
I had the same on my chest, but here's the chest and belly. But here's the thing: you had one spot that they were concerned with.
Yeah, it was all the breast, and something that was different than yours was that I was lucky enough to be able to be face down and have like my boob going through like a hole in the table. So it's specially made for that, and I guess that's like one of the perks of being better endowed, that you don't have to like be on your back and have the other organs in your body be as exposed to the radiation, where you were probably
but not only that,
like this,
but not only that,
and I was like this, but I was down.
But you had again a specific spot. I had 3 tumors.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had it was explained to me, I had a hacky sack here. I had a baseball, a small baseball here, and then I had a grapefruit or a softball underneath it.
Yeah.
So I had 3 tumors, and they were large. So I got a lot of radiation getting kicked
all
into
around your chest,
all around my chest. So that's why Taco Loco. I'm cancer survivor too.
Oh,
I had stage 3 testicular cancer, turning stage 4.
Oh my God!
Well, God bless you. I'm so glad that you're with us.
I was lucky to catch it early. Like
you caught it very early.
Yeah, we caught it really early because I always make sure that I follow up, like on my mammograms, and get a sonogram with it. And just like make sure, because like my mom passed away from uterine cancer. Her anniversary, she'll be let's see, it was 2013, November 14th of 2013. She died on her birthday. Yeah, so 12 years ago, um, she passed away from uterine cancer, and she really regretted not following up with
Right.
medical care early on.
You know, and
Any type of bleeding after um, after menopause, red flag. You don't ignore that. You get right in there and just stay doing your well woman. For all the women that watch.
yeah, Taco says he had to do 5 months of hard chemo.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean chemo. See, when I did the radiation, I did chemo, and I told you, like I would get chemo on Wednesday afternoon. By Wednesday night,
come away from there, baby.
I was done.
No, no.
You know, Thursday was basically the invalid, and by Friday I started becoming. Stop chewing my chair, girl. I started becoming more human, but the radiation would make me tired. I would get radiation, and I would come home and I would fall asleep for about 2 hours because it was weird. That would make you. I did nothing. I just laid on a.
Sure.
You want to come to Daddy?
Oh, you're trying to comfort Daddy.
You want to come to Daddy?
Yeah.
Just no. Oh, here. How about this? Taco said you also had to have surgeries and all that. Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah, I managed to get out without the chemo. Thank God.
Yeah. Well, you got
because mine was caught at I was about to say level 1, stage 1,
right?
And I was really lucky that it had only that there was only one. They only had to take one of my lymph nodes in my armpit because that's where the lymph. Yes, because that's where the lymph drained from the breast.
Right.
Yeah.
Paul wants to know: did you lose weight from the treatments? I lost weight, but I lost weight mostly because I was off my food. Okay, so once I was off the chemo, the 10 pounds or so that I lost because I wasn't eating my normal appetite came back on and then some pretty quickly. Because the other thing is, for those 11 months, I was not doing much of anything. I was homebound, and I was on a pass from work. Usually, it was from 8 to 8, so I could do my appointments without having to call. But it did mean that you weren't going to hang out somewhere.
There wasn't a social time.
No. Mike says I used to work in a cancer research facility.
Wow.
From what I understand, future cancer treatments are going to be much more localized without radiation.
Yeah.
I can't remember the term I heard. Well, I worked with a fellow sergeant who was diagnosed with stage 0 prostate cancer.
Wow. It was pre-cancer. Oh.
Yeah, so what they did is they put radioactive seeds in.
Oh, I don't think they do that anymore.
Yeah, like they did radioactive seeds.
I think they did that with John too.
Yeah. So, I mean, like when I had my PET scan. Okay, we didn't know I was a diabetic until I had started my. Until I had gone in for my my port. I had my surgical port put in. That's when they found out that I was a diabetic, type 2. So my blood sugar was high, and you can't do your PET scan if your blood sugar is out of range.
Oh.
So they stuck me in a quiet room. And basically, it is a room that's like 98% dark, just hint of a little light, comfortable chair, no devices, no music, no sound, just to calm you down and get your blood sugar down. So,
wow,
yeah, that was I remember that aspect of it, and of course the PET machine was like in a building's basement.
Because the That's always where they are.
Yeah. So, but like I said, we've in my family, I'm my mother's brother and sister, my aunt and uncle.
Mm-hmm.
They both died of cancer,
Mm-hmm.
but my uncle was basically a functional alcoholic. You can guess what cancer he died of. My aunt didn't have those vices, but I mean, the thing is, you don't know. They've asked me, does cancer run in your family? Well, I mean, run in my family, not really. But
Yes.
both my parents cancer free. My father's some, minor skin cancer, but his generation was out in the sun,
Mm-hmm.
and you hit the beach before the sun came up, and you didn't leave until the sun came down.
Yeah.
You know,
It's interesting. My grandmother had some sort of a blood cancer. My I can't remember how my maternal granddad passed away, but my dad's dad had lung cancer, heavy smoker, drinker.
right?
Can't remember how my grandma passed away.
So,
Yeah, but and then both my parents passed away from cancer.
right. So, I mean, it makes it puts you in that position of what do I do to turn the odds in my favor? Because you're never going. You can't stop chewing my watch band, young lady.
Luna,
You
you
can't
could be a good
immune
girl.
your. There's no way to say if I do X, Y, and Z, I'll never get. That's not going to happen.
No,
I wish it would,
you
because
can.
we'd all do it.
Yeah, you can try things to mitigate.
Right. You can do things to add bonuses to the roll. Okay, but honestly, in the end, it's like anything else in life.
Yeah.
You control as much as you can control. But I would say, in my case, I was carrying extra weight. That was certainly not beneficial. Now, my cancer was caught because I was literally at work and my neck swelled up to the point where I had to go to my locker and get a shirt with a different collar to cover up the fact that my neck was swelling up. And my friend of mine, Michelle, my fellow sergeant's like, "You got a goiter." She happened to be Jewish, and I was like, "Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm having an allergic reaction to something I ate, but it didn't go away
No.
for like 2 days." And my friend Kenny said, "Listen, I have a doctor who's cool, and you don't have to make an appointment. You just walk into his office, give him your insurance. He has office hours." And I did that. And he took one look at me, and he sent me for X-rays. And I'm there for the X-rays, and I got the orders. And the guy can see my neck is swollen, and he is doing X-rays of my chest and abdomen. And he's arguing with me, the tech, that these orders are wrong because I can see your neck is swollen. And I said to him, I don't care what you see. I'm
Take it up
assuming
with the doctor, but let's do what he ordered.
let's do what the orders are.
Yeah.
I learned afterwards that my doctor was trying to see, he knew
The symptom.
the symptom. He already knew he was looking at Hodgkin's.
Mm-hmm.
Because he knew that was a lymph node. He needed to know, are there additional tumors and are they above or below the abdomen? Above the abdomen was stage 2. Anything below the abdomen would be stage 3, potentially 4.
Oh, I didn't know how that.
Yes. So, um, things that you learn having gone through it. Every cancer is staged differently.
Yeah.
So just because this is how Hodgkin's gets staged, isn't how any other cancer gets staged. But yes, generally speaking, the higher the number, 1 to 4, the worse it potentially is. So, um, now how do you handle it? I mean, you're going through it, right? I went through it. I went through those sleepless nights of what's going to happen with me with my uh with my cancer outlook.
Yeah.
And personally, I'm going to tell you, you better have somebody you can talk to. And I'm not saying somebody you can talk to that you dump on. I'm not saying you dump on somebody, but somebody that can give you feedback on your concerns. And just by talking about them, you're able to deal with them. I was able to sleep a lot better after talking to my mother.
Sorry.
Bless you. Because she was someone that I hope your teeth are feeling good. My teeth are feeling wonderful, Dad. She's chewing on my chair. I don't know if you can hear that on your side, but you know, I, that is a huge supporting aspect of it. Your
Right.
own,
You can't do this alone.
you can't. It is, no man is an island. Well, when it comes to cancer, you better get that into your head because just being in the right frame of mind can only help your potential outlook. I'm not saying it will. I'm saying it can only help. If it's gonna, it will never hurt it. I'm gonna catch up on some of the chat here. So hold on a second. Um. Oh God. Here we go. Hold on. Is the PET machine similar to an MRI machine? The donut they pass you through. Kinda. It's the
Uh,
same general technology, but not quite.
well, because you're not going in a tube in a PET scan.
No, you're not going.
It's
Yeah,
like there. It's like just a thing that's right,
yeah.
and you
And,
just
and,
go.
and it's been 20 years, so I
Yeah.
don't really. I know a lot about going in a tube with my yearly heart scans.
But no,
Uh,
the MRI you go in a tube, a real
yeah.
tube, and
No,
you.
I know. I did the MRI for my back and knee.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Mike, we've all heard stories about people drinking and smoking every single day and living until 90.
Yeah.
It's always been best to be healthy, but life often has other plans. And, listen,
Yeah.
I've fought, weight issues my most of my life.
Yes. Me too.
Okay,
Since my teens.
I understand that,
Yeah.
and you know what? I'm probably always going to be heavier than I'm supposed to be, but I'd like to be less heavier than I am. So like, closer to the normal range
Yeah.
than on the higher
Uh,
end. Take the wins that you can get.
yeah.
Agile. There are various types of MRIs, PET scans, angio scans, etc. They were also done with contrast and without. Yeah, the liquid the
Yes.
liquid they give you for the I've had some. It's berry flavored. No,
Oh
it's
yeah, they're like berry or banana.
they both taste like puke.
Yeah.
But whatever. Um, Shellback. We had a guy on my first ship with lymphatic cancer. The doc on the ship was a
Oh.
racist, so he refused to look into the swelling and neck bump, and Command Master Chief had to step in to get the kid
Oh.
looked at. When we pulled into Naples, by the base hospital. Yeah, that's basically what I had. And then, of course, I am of the mindset of at the time, who doctors? Doctors are for older people. I'm still young and healthy in my 30s.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the thing is, in the case of Hodgkin, for me, it was most likely set off by 9/11 and responding to 9/11 and everything I was
Yes.
exposed to. So I should have, knock on wood, been more attentive to my health. You get wiser as you get older. I always tell my son, learn from my mistakes So you don't have to make the same mistake that I do. Make your
Right.
own mistakes and learn from those. That's fine. But learn from the mistakes of others.
Yes.
It makes it easier. Agile. We're both suffering from. My code from hell is has now moved up a few planes closer to Nirvana. It's not as horrible as it was,
Mm.
but I'm in dopey mode today. I told Rach I'm like just probably, yeah, and I'm not taking medication, but I probably shouldn't be like doing any long haul driving.
No.
Uh, Shellback, that is horrific. I am glad the command master chief did something. Yeah.
Yeah, my God.
And it goes, yeah, the kid was my supervisor's brother-in-law, so he was
Oh.
in our shop all the time. Wow. Twin Steel, really appreciate you talking about this. Many folks in this community prefer to keep their troubles to themselves, but having the strength, you get me emotional even saying this, having the strength to talk to someone else can save your life. Yes,
Yes.
we have. I'll be honest with you. My 2020 was a shitty year.
Yeah.
I was hospitalized 3 times for a total of a month over 2020, and I never came down with COVID. I had other health issues involving my heart for the most part.
Yeah.
And pneumonia and sepsis, apparently, because let's throw that into it. But one of the things that I took from that is that I need to let people know that they're not alone. Everybody goes through some trials and tribulations, and it's
I
not
mean, that's what this is.
right.
Really, that's what
Right.
it's
And
just
it
how
is.
you
It's not.
play that hand.
You don't have to be the only one to bear their cross. I know I'm
Sorry.
making a comment as a Christian there, but the load that you need to carry is a little bit easier if you can share with others.
Yeah.
So we do this on a weekly basis. And we talk, by the way, if it's your first time watching us or on a Saturday night, we will talk about, usually the first half an hour is talking about our last week and what's going on and our doctor's appointments and this
Right.
stressor and that stressor, because that's what life is. And then usually we have a topic of the week.
Yeah.
But cancer is a serious topic because it touches so many lives. I can't go on Facebook for a week without
And
having
not hear about
somebody in my circles. And when I say in my
being
circles,
affected.
I have 3,500 Facebook friends. I'm
Yeah.
talking people in my circles, as in people I've met face to face at conventions that I've maybe worked on our project with, and go, oh God, because I know from my perspective what it's like to go through it. I know from my perspective what it's like to be a family member of somebody that's going through it.
Yes.
And I think, like when we say our nightly prayers about people that we know that are going through
Yes.
stuff, we add their family into the prayer because family is often forgotten. Family and
Yes.
friends, right? But that's the support network. That's the key. And much of this. By the way, talking about cold, my cold is getting to that point. Forgive me. I would normally mute. I'm going to mute because you probably don't need to hear this. There, I muted.
What you doing, puppy?
Oh my God, everybody's been chatting. Agile, I've been in the hospital 3 times in the last couple of months.
I'm so
Angio
sorry.
scans and MRIs of spine, etc. I feel like I'm glowing in the dark. Yeah, I went through that a couple of years ago. Let's see. 9/11. Yes, Fooey. 9/11 set off all types of cancers.
Yes.
Yep. Actually, I have a friend of mine from the job whose issue wasn't cancer. It was scarring of the lungs. His lung capacity is down.
Oh, okay.
John, his lung capacity is down to about 80%.
Mm-hmm.
Because he inhaled so much of that stuff.
Oh.
I'm going to mute a second again. Sorry, I forgot that I had 2 nostrils. Shellback. I was in and out of several hospitals and clinics every week for about 7 months in 2020.
Oh,
2020, right? That's the
whammy.
that's the year that many of us would love to just wipe off the map. Yep. Yes, recall us, Shellback. Recall it.
Yep, they're right behind my chair.
We had them earlier, but I need the ones with the like the primatine mist. No, I need the stuff with that real mentholated. Rach doesn't like the menthol. I like the
No,
menthol.
that makes me sick.
No, it makes my sinuses
Like,
clear
yeah, I
out.
love menthol. I apply it topically a lot.
Yes.
But I can't put it in my mouth or.
All right. Well, all right. So, but
Do you want me to get you something in the
no,
kitchen?
no. But what can listen, like, what can you do? Because this is the part that I know from my experience is the most frustrating. Right? You're the one going through all this. You're occupied with your appointments and everything else, and a lot of it. I know. Agile. Thank you for gifting people. My God, thank you.
Oh, wow.
I know that with me, when I went through cancer, I worried less than when Rach went through cancer.
Really?
I worried more because my life, is the people you care about. So I always look at illnesses like cancer as, yes, I feel so much for the person who's suffering, but I also feel so much for the people
That love them.
that love them,
Yeah.
that are going through it with them, and they're often the forgotten.
Yeah,
They're the
yeah.
forgotten heroes.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are up all
Because they're
night.
going through that fear too. Like, as much fear that you have about recurrence, they have it too. And you struggle with the fear of recurrence, or I do, pretty often, like every scan, every, um, blood tests, meeting with the surgeon, all those things. Like, please don't let this be the day they find something else.
Right. So, for me, it hurt. I worried so much more about Rachel than I ever worried about my own health. Okay. Yes, Mike, your loved ones are much more important and valuable. Yeah. Yes, I totally understand that. So that's why when I see somebody I know, a friend of mine from the gaming community, and I get an update, because I know, I'm not going to name names, but somebody I know who's been fighting cancer since about 2020.
Yeah.
I mean, diagnosed when it was 2020, because I remember, because I spoke with their wife, because they were like, "You just went through a hell of a year.
Yeah.
We're about to go through it." And that conversation really brought home to me that we often forget the family,
Yeah.
the spouse, the kids, the parents that are going through it. And you know what? Honestly, they may need somebody to talk to. They may
Yeah.
need somebody to explain their fears to. And I'm going to ask you to be that shoulder, be that ear. You know, I think we need to acknowledge that as a community, as a society, that we can be there for people, and it's not a weakness to need to talk to somebody.
Right.
Again,
And especially people that have been,
yeah,
in it.
I mean, listen, I was a cop.
There's a community to be had there.
I was a cop for 20 years. I learned to compartmentalize
Right.
my fears, my horror stories, and all that stuff. And then I retired. And I went, "Oh my God, all these emotions come through me now." Because I spent 20 years with the safety mechanism of not dealing with it. Maybe that's
Right.
why when I had cancer, I wasn't even dealing with it, because it
Yes.
wasn't fully real to me. But Rach having cancer, and I was obviously retired, was
Yeah.
extremely real to me. And very scary.
Yeah.
And at the same time, let's be honest, okay, I wasn't going to show it to Rach.
No.
She doesn't need to see, to quote The Rock, crumbling into sand. But it scared the crap out of me at the time. And then as every appointment went, it got a little bit better. A little bit.
Yes. As your providers, as my providers were able to like tell us what the course was and what we're gonna do and um laid things out, yeah, it got easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
And I had like I was very lucky.
God bless. I mean, but again, as we said at the beginning, cancer is literally a force of nature. It has no care whether you're rich or poor, whether you are black or white,
No.
whether you are educated or uneducated. You could be Elon Musk. You might get slightly better treatment, but we've seen this with big tech people, billionaires. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, well, they died pretty young because it's always something like cancer,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, Paul. It's the waiting for the results that I found the most difficult.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my God.
That was the worst, like after biopsy.
All right. So I haven't told my diagnosis story, but I'll tell it real quick. I had to go to a thoracic surgeon to get my biopsy done, and I'm at the hospital, pre-op, and I mean they have you standing like at attention with your anesthesiologist, who's also your patient advocate.
Huh.
And he's going over my patient advocate, my anesthesiologist is going over this stuff. And he's like, and then if that is negative, they are gonna do a tracheotomy. I go, tracheotomy? He
Mm.
goes, the doctor never explained this to you? I go, tracheotomy, that's like what they did on MASH, right? I mean, I saw that. No, I would have remembered it if you mentioned it. He goes, all right, listen, I'm going to have you under just enough to be out, but I can pull you out of it in 30 seconds. Nothing's
Right.
happening unless we both agree. All right. And we're gonna ask the surgeon. So the surgeon came by and he's like, so doc, what's about this tracheotomy? Oh, well, if you don't find whether this is whatever what they were looking for, then we're gonna go and do a tracheotomy. He goes, all right, doc, we'll discuss that when we get there. And he cocked his head. He goes, yeah. He goes, Eric, we're not doing anything unless you and I both agree. And I don't need, I guess I'm worried about this tracheotomy.
Wow.
So I'm not saying the doc was somebody who liked to cut, but that was
Yeah. Damn.
that was his specialty. So I get put under and I get pulled out. And in the background, I'm kind of hearing, yeah, that's a wrap. Something to that effect. So I didn't know what that meant. So what it meant was that they knew from the biopsy immediately at the time that I was positive for the Epstein-Barr virus, which is an indication that I had Hodgkin's, and therefore
Oh.
nothing further had to be done. It wasn't like a sarcoma or something like that.
Oh.
So I didn't know it at the time. So I got to see the doctor in his office 2 days later. So I have 2 days where I don't know anything.
Yeah.
And I'm in his office and I'm going to use language that is adult language. If you got kids around, I apologize. But this motherfucking piece of shit surgeon, okay, and I say that he called me called into his office, and he's at his desk, and he won't look up from his paperwork, and he won't look me in the eye if I come into the room, and he's like, he mutters something to the effect of, yes, you're positive for Epstein-Barr virus. you have Hodgkin's, and I'm like, you should see your oncologist. I was like, you can't even look me in the eye and give me this diagnosis, and you're the
Yeah, I
one.
think I would have wanted to like
I
bust some shit up in there, you know?
Yeah,
That's so bad, but
twins.
sometimes that's where it goes when you're really, somebody is that impersonal.
Yeah. So I actually I think he was uncomfortable.
Yes, and
He didn't
so
want to. He didn't want to be the one saying
Mhm.
it. So I get back to my. I'm in shock. My mother's waiting for me, and I'm just like,
is that over this way
what the
at St.
surgeon?
John's?
No, it happened at St. John's,
Yeah.
but the surgeon was out in Flushing,
Oh, okay.
and I was like, yeah, mom, just get home. And when I got home, one time in my life, I actually got home, went to the hallway upstairs in my apartment, and I could
You went fatal and cried like a baby.
go to my GP the next day, and he's like, "Awesome." I went, "What?" He goes, "This is good news. Hold on a second." And he calls from his phone in the exam room, and he's like, Late." He's like, first thing he bases with another doctor. He's like, uh, "Can you see a patient today?" "Oh, you're not in your office today? Tomorrow? Your Ridgewood office?" Yeah, Eric, you're gonna see Dr. Wu tomorrow."
Oh.
And between my GP and my oncologist, I went from total fear to grounded. I mean, I didn't hear half the words coming out of my oncologist's mouth as he was talking to me. My mother did,
Mhm.
and she's like, "You heard that, right?" I heard chemo and potentially radiation at the end. She goes, "No, he said we're going to cure you." I was like, "Huh?" No, she said that. And here I am, 20 years later, still getting worked up.
Yeah.
Thank God I got this wife.
Thank God.
But it really was, it is still something that I'm living with.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got my congestive heart failure.
Yeah, I know. I like it.
Thanks
Like
to
when
that.
you get off your cancer probation, it's still not gone. It's
Yeah.
still not, you know,
So,
you still hold on to the fears and the
oh, yeah.
memories and
All
all
right.
that.
Foogly, I'm going to mute. It's not you. Foogly's having a little connection issue.
No,
I didn't. You didn't need a full nose blow.
no.
I know you come here for me to keep it real, but that's
Sorry.
probably too real for many of you. Thank you, Angela. I appreciate it. Twin Steel says I work in anesthesia. We're never excited to do a trach. Okay,
Wow.
that makes a lot of sense now. But again, we do these weekly. We hate when we miss doing our Saturday lives.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, Angela, we're glad that you were here with us today. I'm glad. Um, and as an aside, I've had two doctors in my life come out and talk about God, which
Mm.
they never do. And one was my oh God, what do they call for the lungs?
Pulmonary.
Pulmonary. The pulmonary I saw. She was again a friend
Oh,
of.
okay.
She was a friend of my oncologist. He had a great set of friends,
Mm.
and she was a cancer survivor.
Oh, okay.
And she actually told me, she's like, God has a purpose for you.
Mm.
You're gonna get through this. I was like, holy crap! And then my heart failure specialist, who told me, is like, he goes, "You're here for a reason." Because I had told him I was going to start doing these live streams on Saturdays, and he goes, "My God, yes. Talk about your experience. Talk about it. You know, Twin Steel, be good." George Harrison quotes, "Blow away, blow away, blow away." Yes. Uh, you know, but you just need to understand that you're not alone in whatever you're going through. Somebody's gone through it. Somebody will go through it.
Mm.
Somebody's going through it now. Maybe not
Yes.
exactly like what you're going through, but believe me,
But similar enough that,
that the destination, the
yeah.
trip, you can share notes,
Mm.
and you should. Do you imagine? My mom is a two-time cancer survivor, living a good life today.
God bless.
God bless. I mean, I just these live streams are very important to Rachel and I. We do them on a Saturday night. I'm thrilled when we get double digits viewing lives, but the numbers for the replays are pretty good because
Oh.
I think, yes, it's a Saturday night, it's family time, it's
Yeah.
date
Date
night,
night.
it's whatever. But honestly, I would. I hate to miss it when I have to miss these when we're at a convention. We try to like reschedule them for Sundays if we
Yeah.
can because it's important to us, and we believe it's important to many of you. Well, if nothing else, my sinuses for my cold should be clearing up after this. Emotional experience, which, by the way, I did not expect to get emotional. So, yeah, it is what it is. You come here for reality. You
Yeah.
got your reality. Um,
Yeah.
see, Rach is my rock. Don't give me that look. You are Rach, and you will certainly what grounds me. Certainly will
Yeah.
check me if I'm doing something stupid.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Um, Tomorrow night. Oh my God, yeah. Tomorrow night.
Monday.
No, tomorrow night. I
Oh,
want to.
Sunday.
Sunday night. I want to do an AMA at 8 p.m.
Oh, okay.
Not a long one. Probably 45 minutes, maybe an hour. But we're gonna do an
Uh,
AMA. Anybody can come to the AMA. AMA members only can ask questions. But I got a couple of things I want to fill people in on anyway. I will give away 5 memberships. But thank you to Agile for giving
oh,
away
very
5 tonight.
sweet.
It was really awesome. And if you are a member or even just a subscriber, we have a post section. And in the post section, there are links to our Dropbox folders. There are 2 folders, one for the general public to get some free content for your OSR games, and one for members. So members get a little bit extra. Just let you know it's there. Uh, D'Angelo, you definitely sound like you had a cold the other day. You sound better today.
Yeah.
Until I got all
So you
emotional.
started crying.
Paul. Mike. So I have a copy of the One E DMs guide. One of the special reprints that came out years ago. My plan is to have all my favorite OSR dudes sign it one day. I hope I can get your name down, Tenkar.
Oh.
You can find me at a convention. I'm happy to sign it. Uh, Paul, with the 3 major surgeries I've had in my lifetime, I've
Mm.
always found someone in my circles that had gone through it too. Having those conversations with others are powerful.
Yes.
Yes. So,
But
folks, yeah,
I didn't really know anybody who had this type of cancer. So,
right.
you know, as I was going through it, I was like looking at a lot of social media and people that
Uh-huh.
were telling their story and um, finding ways through, and that helped me a lot.
Folks, you can find me especially, either on Facebook or Discord. If you need somebody to talk to, if you need somebody to bounce questions off of, if you're going through any of these things, this past week
Yeah,
I've
we have
probably been
quite a big problem list.
yeah. If past week I've probably been slow to respond to stuff because I'm feeling like crap, but we're happy
Yeah.
to listen and to help as best we can. Yeah, DM Angelo, I appreciate the fact that you mentioned God earlier. God bless you all. Angelo, I end most of my videos with God bless.
Mm.
You've gone through what I've gone through over my life, and you're still here
Mm-hmm.
against some of the odds. It could be random, or it could be there's a higher power pulling for me. I'd like to believe there's a higher power.
Yeah.
But we'll see. All right, folks. Thank you all. Thank you
Thank
again
you.
to Agile for gifting, and I'll see
Yeah.
many of you tomorrow.